Hello and welcome. In this video, I would like to very quickly demonstrate how to do a multiple regression in Excel. Specifically, I'd like to show you how to do a regression where you have more than one independent variable, but only one dependent variable. In this video, we'll be considering a data set with these columns: street number, street name, city, state, zip, year built, the number of beds in the home, the number of bathrooms in the home, the square footage of the basement, the above ground area of the home, so first and any subsequent stories, what is the square footage of that, the square footage of the garage, the square footage of the lot size. I used to have a student's name in this, I've since gotten rid of that. And the variable of interest is the sale price. When I come back over to my data, here, you may notice that I have called my data master data. I like to give my data something like, hey, this is the original or master data. And before I do any work on this, I like to copy my data over to a subsequent spreadsheet so that no matter what I do, it makes it just easy to say, hey, I put my columns in the wrong order. Oh, I might have deleted something. I'm just going to delete this sheet and go back to my original or master data set, and I can start over. Putting your data into a subsequent or a next door worksheet here makes it easy to go backwards. In this case, I want to do a regression, and I am going to look at the variables basement square footage and above ground square footage. So what I want to do, I'm going to rename my sheet and say that this is data as opposed to results, and I'm just going to name the variables that I'm interested in, which are going to be, let's call it basement and above ground, and that's good enough. That's enough of a hint to me. And since I'm looking at very specific variables, I like to just delete any data when I'm working in Excel that I am not going to be considering. So I'm going to delete all this data. I'm going to get rid of garage area. I'm going to get rid of lot size. And one of the reasons that I do this, I wanted to point out really quickly, when you are doing regressions in Excel, if you're doing a multiple regression, so you have multiple independent variables, the data for your independent variables, let me just highlight that actually, that makes sense. Let me make that background light green, and let me make my dependent variable light blue. That's good. I have data in between. If you're going to have more than one independent variables, those columns have to be adjacent, the way that A and B are. If I wanted to look at basement and garage area, I would have to either move garage area next door or delete above ground area. The way to move columns in Excel is to simply highlight the column, move your cursor until you get not this plus, that's the wrong plus, you want this plus. With it looks like 4 little crosses that are met at the bottom. I'm going to hit shift, and then I can drag that data to any order that I want. It copied it over, it moved it, it inserted it one column over. I'll show you that again. Let's do lot size this time. If I wanted to bring lot size, let's say I don't want to bring lot size clear over to the far left. I can highlight my column, move my cursor until I have my 4 crosses. I'm going to hit shift, and then I can drag my data over, and let's put it on the far side of column A, and there I've moved that column. Okay, I'm going to not do that. I just want to look at what is the effect, or what is the relationship between the values of my basement variable and my above ground area variable, with those being independent variables, and sale price being my dependent variable. To make sure that I have the ability to do a regression, I'm going to say File, and down here I don't have options, so I'm trying to click More. That'll take me to Options. I like to go to Add-ins, Down here in manage, I have several options. I want to make sure that I have Excel add-ins selected, and I'm going to say go. I want to be sure that I've clicked the analysis tool pack. Make sure that's checked. I'm going to say OK. I should be good, and that means that when I click on the data tab at the top, I can access this data analysis. I can scroll up and down, get a lot of options. What I want to do right now is regression. And I can now say my y is my dependent variable. So I don't want that. This is from a prior regression that I ran. I want to run not cell D. I want to run cell E. And the easy way to do this is just delete that and highlight the data that you want to use, the whole column, all the data in that column that will represent your dependent variable. You also, I do not want to include column C, so I'm going to just delete all that. And I'm going to highlight the data that I do want, which is I do include those column names, columns A and B, and this is why I have to have them next to each other. So it's going to run my inputs column A and B as my independent variables. I check labels because that says that it will include the first row of my data includes the labels, which is what I want to see here. It's not going up, so let me show you that. But when I click on labels, that says, hey, the value in the first row of each column is the label of the column. I would strongly encourage you to use a new worksheet as your output area. I definitely would encourage you to include outputs for all of these, especially your residuals, your residual plots, and your line fit plots. And I would say standardized residuals also. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. It's going to make a new sheet right away. I'm going to name this after the variables that it considers. So I'm going to say that this is results of basement, above ground, and price, which is my dependent variables. Because after I start to run a bunch of these, having just sheet 1 or sheet 2 isn't going to help me a lot. That's how you run a regression, a multiple regression analysis, and I will make another video that will show you how to interpret these results. Have a great day.